What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unfinished Business, episode 59. It's crazy to think we've been doing this 59 times. So 60 next week. If you haven't already guessed, we don't have Taylor Hale. Really really sad. Put an F in the chat for Taylor right now. He's not able to be with us tonight, but exciting episode because we just got a first official DGPT tournament out of the way. New winner on tour, by the way. Super exciting to talk about. We're going to talk about our weekly challenge that we've had for the last 2 weeks, our Uno challenge. We're going to have a game tonight that I'm going to present, and then we'll just see where else the episode takes us. So let's each take a minute, talk about our disc golf. I'm going to go ahead and go first.
Wait, I have to say this. Tyler, we're episode 58, by the way.
Oh, we're not 59?
No, we're not.
Are you positive?
I'm positive. I double checked. This is episode 58.
It does say episode 58 live.
Yeah, but I did that myself, so I could have made the mistake, but I double checked with our videos.
Listen,
we're on.
Yeah, but the thing is, last week Taylor put on our notes episode 58. Well, I'm pretty sure we're episode 59.
Bro, I can tell you our last published video is episode 57.
Exactly, last published, but our last episode was 58. Taylor did not publish our last episode.
Taylor didn't. Oh my goodness. And
So
he's getting banned.
It is episode 59.
It's 59 apparently.
We put this whole thing just got checked off.
All right, let's start over.
Heads, nah.
Are we gonna start over or no?
So funny. No. Everyone needs to know how this works in this podcast.
Well, listen, everyone put an elf in the chat. Okay. So
are you going to start out with your minute of disc golf?
Tyler? Yeah, I am. I want to go ahead and get us kicked off. Listen, not much is going on with me in disc golf. I don't have anything really passionate to kind of jabber on either. I did get a chance to play yesterday, which was nice, but it was super windy, but it was a beautiful day. Kind of bummed because when I did my challenge, a little spoiler alert, in 3, 2, 1, I pretty much threw the Raptor the entire time, which really sucked because it kind of ruined the challenge. So I definitely want to do this challenge again.
What did you use? Raptor and what?
Thrasher, Raptor, in an inner core as my throwers, and I putt with it. And I putt with an inner core. Inner core is awesome thrower, by the way.
Do you putt with a putting inner core or
the base plastic inner core?
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it feel different?
It's a little more concaved on top. The premium one is a little bit more like it's got a little bit more glide to it. So the numbers on an inner core base plastic is 2.4 and -1.0, I believe. Definitely glide is like a 4, but it has a finish to it. So my numbers, in my opinion, would be like 2.4 -1.1 is what I would think.
Okay.
But it's really, I don't know. I don't trust the flight numbers on it. It putts really, really nice. I'm amazing with it. It's already proven itself. So I'm going to be using it.
I'm amazing.
Bold comment, but okay.
And I'm going to do one new thing this week for my disc golf minute is I'm just going to choose a random disc out of my container here. And shout out Mutant. So that's it.
Was that ever actually in your bag or no?
The Mutant, yes, I did throw that. Actually, in the very first Ryder Cup we did with our friends group, I bagged and threw the Mutant.
Nice.
Cool.
I still haven't thrown one. I really want to.
Okay, well, I'm gonna send this one to you, Gory, because I never throw it, and it is a dump truck.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
this is gonna remind you of your disc.
I doubt it.
It's gonna remind you.
I'll do a video on it, but I doubt it.
I don't know. I've thrown them. They're pretty insane. I threw one. Kind of fun, but definitely insane. Corey, what about your minute? What's been going on in the disc golf world for you?
I am currently in Thousand Oaks, California, which is just north of LA. And I played some weird little 5-hole course and did a video on it. And then yesterday, I only got to finish the front 9 because it got too dark. But I found the coolest course in all of California. And when I mentioned it to my buddy Eric, he was like, that's actually one of my favorite courses out there because his girlfriend lives in California. So he comes here every so often. And he said, same. This course is insane. It's like there's a lot of island holes where it's just a bunch of brush and then an opening for the circle, and that's about it. So you could lose your disc super easily. And then every other hole is either throwing up a mountain or down a mountain. There's a 500-foot I think it's a par 3, but it's a 500-foot par 3 where you're throwing probably 150 feet down. Like, it's something crazy. And I took the sector and almost aced it. So that was awesome. The only issue is I don't know if the camera got it because of how far down it is. You can't really see that much, but Haley did watch, and she also thought it was just gonna go in, and it went right above it and landed like 20 feet. So it was awesome. This course is insane. I cannot wait to finish it. And then I think next weekend we're supposed to go down towards like Huntington Beach and Laguna Beach and all that. And I found another course that I'm going to play.
So you're there for like another week.
I'm there until Sunday morning.
Oh man, that's so nice.
Yeah. But it's currently, like, right now as we speak, it is drizzling. So not the best weather, but good weather for the podcast day.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh, I have a new colorway.
Oh, here it is.
The Warp. Pink. And it's not actually going to be this blue. It's a lot brighter of a blue. It looks more like cotton candy blue, but this is now the completely cosmic candy. And you can purchase it right now on nshcustomdiscs.com.
That one or the other one?
The new one with the brighter blue.
Which it looks so much better.
Yeah. Yes. So
I saw you flash it on your Instagram today.
I didn't really have any colors to go off of. I just kind of told Jason, the owner of NSH, like, cotton candy colors. And then he was like, what about this blue? And he named it. And I was like, yeah, sure. And it ended up being this, which is a little too dark. So then he swapped it with cyan.
Yeah, that's the color right there.
I'm a freaking idiot. I should have just went with cyan in the first place.
Yeah. Cyan is a popular dial color for watches.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a popular color anyway. Tiffany. I'm pretty sure that's pretty close to the inner core blue.
Yeah.
Like the original. So so that's something cool. And I'm pretty sure Taylor's new colorway is on the site as well, maybe. But it's white and blue. It looks really cool. It's got his new logo on it.
Oh wow.
That's actually
wish he was here to show it to us.
I know,
awesome.
right?
Loser.
All right.
Matt, you better have something good to talk about with your own disc.
Oh my gosh, I actually have the best thing ever to talk about. I've played the first real sanction round after just working my butt off on the form all off season and just popped 70 points above my rating.
Hey, let's go,
and I
Maddie.
played like dog crap. That's the awesome thing. I played
what
like
is that
dog
going to
crap.
do to your rating, though?
What? 70 points.
Like you
up?
said, 70 points, but are you actually going up 70 points, or
It won't be it's one 70-point higher rated round.
I know, but I'm saying, like, when we get the new update,
It'll just increase. It's like I don't know how their system works fully, but
I don't either.
But let me run you through this. I popped 70 points above my rating. Hole one on the course. It's like 320 or something. Not really that far. Hit the first Mando tree. Throw a great upshot to 20 feet. Okay, just got to tap in a par here and move on. Wind is blowing so hard. It's like 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Throw my putt. Kicks up in the air. Rolls to 80 feet.
Let's go.
Chip up the forehand to 20 feet.
Come on.
Miss the 20-footer for single bogey. Double bogey. Take a quad bogey. So, like, that stuff was happening all day, and I still shot 70 points above my rating. And so that's got to make me question, like, what would I do if everything else wasn't going? But, like, there's a ton of missed 10-footers because the winds was cracking.
What would you be like if you didn't suck?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, like, what would it be like if I actually putted 10
I was
strokes
really
better?
good. Yeah.
But, like, that has never been the issue. And my issue has never been that I got to the basket and couldn't put it in the basket. And now that is the issue. And that's something I have fixed. So that's an easy fix. But it was that, like, I'd throw a forehand upshot and it's supposed to go 40 feet and I would just throw it 100 feet just because I'm not used to that. Or, like, I had this easy, literally 30-foot, I kind of just had to throw like a half chip putt thing and I just cranked it 100 feet in the woods. So it sounds really bad, but it was great because if that's 70 points above my rating, what happens when I practice some forehand up shots and putt a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty excited. So played some cool courses. Played a course I've never played before. That was crazy and would be terrible in the summer, but I managed to sneak it in the winter. So that's fun. But that's it for me. It's getting warm here, so my baskets for my course, which I just got a new basket, go back in Monday night probably. So then cleanup work resumes, and hopefully I have play testers in like 2.5 weeks. So I'm excited. Yep.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, we just had a tournament go on this weekend, and we have a first-time winner on tour, Ezra Robinson. Congratulations to Ezzy Ezra, and whoever picked him is a genius. I'm just going to say that right off the bat, picking his first win. But I'm just going to read off a couple different things or a couple different highlights, and then anyone else can kind of share their own takeaways of the tournament. Ezra only had one bogey the entire weekend.
Holy.
Not only did he have one bogey, but he also led the field in birdies. And I don't know about you guys, but that's a formula for success, I think. Birdie more than anyone else and don't bogey. What's also fascinating is that Kelvin Heimberg was in the top 5 in birdies, but he had an atrocious, I think it was like triple bogey and then several other bogeys. Another thing that I found was interesting is that they pretty much smashed they smashed the record of what was shot last year. Last year, I think it was like 18 under or something like that.
Yeah, it was somewhere right around there.
And Ezra was 29 under, and they pretty much said they didn't make too many changes. And I think I heard someone say that the biggest difference this year was that the weather was just so perfect with no wind. So they're able to play the course straight up. So anyways, I'm just going to open up to the floor after I introed a little bit. Biggest takeaway from this tournament, first one of the year.
My biggest takeaway is that so Ezra shot 29 down. Anthony Barella shot 23, and then you have Paul and Ricky at 22 and 20. Is it just me, or does Paul and Ricky look like the old gun now, the way that everyone's playing? Like even before Ezra was 21 or 29 down, he was a few ahead of Anthony, but Anthony and him were like leagues ahead of Paul and Ricky the entire tournament.
Yeah. I never really felt like Ricky and Paul were going to catch him.
But it almost looked like Ricky and Paul were playing at like their caliber.
Yeah.
And these two guys are just so far ahead of that, which is insane. And then also if you look at like Calvin, Kyle, Simon, Jake Mon, they're all 18, 16 down, which is just below Ricky and Paul. And then you got these two guys that are just flying by.
So this will put it into perspective for you. Paul came in third, 7 shots behind Ezra, and he was 1059 for the tournament.
Yeah.
Like if you're 1050 for a tournament, you're going to be in it to win it, in my opinion. But not only that, but Ricky was 1055. And if we keep going down, Calvin was 1050 right on the nose at 18 under. And Ezra shot 19 under. What is that? 11 strokes better.
Yeah.
Ezra was 1073 for the tournament. So it sounds like if you're going to have a chance at winning these tournaments, you have to shoot 1070 every week or better, which in my opinion is insane. Like it's insane.
But also to me, that doesn't mean anything. Like once you're a pro, once you're above 1,000, I don't care what you're shooting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I would agree
1070, 1050. To me, that means nothing.
Yeah. I would say it doesn't mean anything to me, but it is for historical purposes. Interesting to see like what the winner is shooting rated every single week.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at the rating. I would look at like, okay, he shot 29 down for the entire thing. And you said it was 18 last year?
I think so.
I think that is more of a perspective thing to the average person is like, oh, he shot 11 down more than last year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that. I don't have any objection to that. Matt, what was your biggest takeaway?
Bro, how often can Anthony Barella throw? That's the real question. We thought that he kind of had it out of him a little bit, getting a couple big wins last year, but we're right back to the same thing. Bro goes, let's see, what did he even shoot for this? He shot round 1, 11 down, round 2, 9 down, round 3, 3 down. And he had some rough shots there at the end.
I was going to say, I did notice he went out of bounds more than most on lead card.
Yeah,
he was getting a lot of bad rolls and stuff
hole
like
4 was atrocious. I think in golf, if you do something like that early, you just can't recover mentally.
So, I think you can. It's just a lot. It's tougher.
Going OB twice on hole 4 just has to hurt.
Well, let's put this into perspective. The first 5 holes, AB was 2 over, and Ezra was 4 under. So 6-stroke swing in 5 holes. I mean, it's really hard to recover from that.
Yeah.
I will say Ezra does look like the Kristen in this tournament, where like if he was just removed, everyone else is kind of like in the same boat. But then he's
Well, Anthony Barella was not supposed to shoot 3 under. He was supposed to, play better.
So, I'm just looking at numbers right now.
Yeah.
Like, 23, 22, 20, 18. If you remove Ezra, it's still a big competition.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony Barella still would have had to have shot 9 under just to tie Ezra, which is still a really good score. So it's not like, Ezra got lucky with AB playing not as good. I mean, Ezra really went out and won it. So,
Yeah. I mean, he was perfect C1X putting in the last round. 2 C2 putts in him there. I mean, he putted well all weekend. I'd have to look at the full stats, but yeah, he was definitely just doing a lot of things right and playing smart most of the time, and it was helping him out. So, I mean, it's great to see. Honestly, I thought Ezra was going to be our new AB, and he can't take a W, and he's losing or taking second place all the time. Then he pops out the first tournament of the year and just wins the thing. So, yeah.
How do we feel about the top 4 all being Discraft players?
Discraft stock to the moon right now.
Yeah. I mean, when Discraft owns or as whatever 60% of players on contract, it's pretty easy to make that happen. But it definitely is.
But then you have to do stuff to get to that point.
No, for sure. I agree with you. But you got to do stuff to get to that point.
If you keep going past the top 4, you go to tied for 6th, you've got Jake Mon, which is a DGA player, which is pretty much Discraft. Then you got Adam Hemes, Austin Turner. Austin Turner is signed with Discraft, and then Chris Dickerson. So all of those guys are in the top 11. So you literally have 1, 2, 3 guys in the top 11 that are not Discraft players. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You've got Calvin, Kyle, and Simon.
And
that's crazy. My biggest takeaway from this tournament is there's a lot of players, a lot of big name guys who have really fallen off the pace. Now, it may just be week 1, could be that they haven't played much disc golf, or week 1 jitters, or just the type of course. But there's a lot of big names, or at least notable.
Call them out. Tell us who you're thinking.
I'm working on it right now from the bottom up. Casey White, 80th. Calvin Longquist, 80th. Kevin Jones, 80th. You've got Jeremy,
but more importantly, Kale Leviska, 20th.
Yeah, that's huge.
My man.
But you know why he finished that well?
Discraft.
Then you got guys who have been playing better, but not big name, but Ty Love, 70th, James Conrad, 67, Mason Ford, 67, Gavin Babcock, 64, Clemens, 64, Discraft shout out. Andrew Marweed, 59th. So some of these guys have really dropped off, or at least they didn't play well in the event. So that's my biggest takeaway. Some of these guys, you're trying to see who we're going to see up at the top this year, and it's going to be interesting to see who we see competing on lead card.
I have
for
a
the rest of
question.
the season. I'd love to hear your question.
So, in a different world, in a different universe, Prodigy goes all out on, let's just say Ezra, because Isaac isn't in this conversation right now,
Okay.
but goes all out in like repping them, pushing them. They have a whole like lineup of discs, everything. And Ezra has the same mindset as he does right now on Discraft. Did he shoot this well?
That's a good question.
Like, is it not only his mentality, but also the discs? Or is it, if he had this same mentality of like new man, but he's still on Prodigy, is he shooting this?
This is my opinion, is that everything is so mental when it comes to golf, and that includes the disc golf. I think just knowing the team that he has, there he goes. I just used the team word. The team, the team that he has behind him, I think just gives him a boost of confidence where he doesn't have to worry about anything anymore. It's just playing disc golf and throwing cool plastic. And I think that just did it for him. It's having that reassurance.
Yeah, because I'm curious if he would have done this well if it was Prodigy plastic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he could have, but like I think Discraft takes it to another level.
I mean, he definitely was heating up the second half of last season as well. Here's a follow-up question. Is this the worst finish we see from Gannon Buhr all season? He was tied for 12th.
No.
You think he's going lower than
I think he's got maybe not a down year, but I think he's got a recovery year is what I would call it.
I mean, he's telling me or he's telling people that his back and neck hurt as well. Don't know what that means for him, but
you kind of need those things to play well in disc golf.
Yeah, but how much of that is just a young super, like, bro, let him sleep for 12 hours and
the fact that you're 19 or 20, however old he is, and your back and neck hurts, that's a problem.
Well, yeah, he is however tall.
He needs to figure that out.
Oh, and the fact that
one of those crazy pillows.
Yeah, maybe so. And the fact that he got exercises that apparently just made the problem worse is crazy. Like, but interesting to note. You know, Gannon definitely dominated last season, but we'll see what he does this season.
Yeah,
I could see it.
12.
He popped 12, so it's still not bad, you know.
No.
But yeah, I could see this being a generally down year for Gannon. But
what place was he in for the chess.com?
That
we know.
That is a great question.
Because I know he didn't do like it. I don't know if he was in the running for the first round or the first tournament last year as well. So
here, Matt's tiny fingers at it.
Let me see. He's
gonna let us know here in just a second.
Mike is saying second. Was he second?
I'm looking at fourth place for 2024 chess.com. Okay. He popped to fourth.
I'll give some notable shout outs that are positive. Simon finishing in the top 10 for I don't know how much disc golf he's played, and I know he definitely flew in the day before the tournament.
More importantly, Simon is doing daily videos.
Is he really?
The entire year.
And
really?
And Tyler would have known
filmer/editor.
Yeah. And Tyler would have known that he was there for like 4 days before the event.
He was there 4 days before the event?
He played a lot of this course.
Yeah. He played a full practice round for MVP, and then he played 2 of his own practice rounds.
Okay.
Go back and watch his first day. Not the MVP one, but like his first video for this whole thing. He somehow he lands in the same spot on this one hole and just chucks his disc through a tree and makes it in the basket both times. Like same shot.
He's literally the freak of nature. I think he's the greatest thrower of the disc. I'll die to the grave thinking that.
Simon, what is this? Simon is just doing what Paul McBeth did like 3 years ago, when Paul McBeth was just having Mikey from Overthrow film him every day and edit footage.
This sounds like a whole new level if he's going to have somebody full time with him. I mean, that freaking MVP money's smacking right now.
Yeah, well, MVP is paying the guy.
Yeah,
true.
That's what I could see. I could see Simon saying like, "Hey, let's up this. Pay for this guy to go on tour with me, edit everything, and then I mean, that's MVP money.
Yeah, to be clear, this guy's filming, editing, he's his nutritionist. He's like running him through yoga stuff. Like he's doing a bunch of stuff at once. So this guy is doing a bunch. But MVP, like they had their podcast that Simon's doing. They had an MVP guy there setting it up for them at their Airbnb. I don't know who or if he flew in or what, but MVP is definitely doing stuff for their players this season. So it wouldn't be a surprise if that's the case.
It sounds like MVP is doing the stuff that we said, like, why doesn't any company just do this? And then MVP is like,
listening.
We're going to do it.
Yeah. I'm still saying they need to get some physical therapists or some people to work with these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what disc golf strong is a little bit, but
I'm just tired of all of our good players getting hurt. So
yeah,
I mean, the whole point of promoting your sport is to have all your best players that are healthy, and when you've got Simon who is hurt or Eagle
a
is
neck
hurt,
issue does not sound disc golf related.
I don't know what to think with that.
Yeah, that might just be age or something.
I think he could have slept weird, or like he could have done one thing. Yeah. Neck injuries take a long time to heal.
Well, the other thing is that if it's bothering him, then it's been an ongoing issue, but now it's just starting to rear its ugly head. And that's how neck and back injuries work, is that it's actually been getting worse, but then it gets to one point where you feel it and you're like, oh my gosh, I did something. Like, no, you didn't do anything. It's just your neck has been getting worse.
You've been sleeping like this on your wall for
get a flat pillow, please.
Yeah. Or try no pillow.
We'll say shout out to Brixton for the big heads on coverage. Did you guys see those where Brixton had the big head of
I did see
players?
Yeah.
That was funny. Weird that Gannon didn't like it because I thought it was pretty funny.
He didn't like it?
Swapped over. That's what Brixton's saying in chat. Ryan's in chat. He says shout out to Brixton for that big head. He didn't like
dude, forget that, dude. I mean, listen, at this point, disc golf is just going to be all about fun because no one cares about professionalism, I feel like, in disc golf on the Pro Tour. So whatever, dude, have fun.
Well, Simon didn't. That's crazy. It would be very easy to see one of those show up in an Alden Harris vlog like 3 days from now. It's pasted to the side of a car.
He's going to steal all of them.
Hey, since we said Simon, let's go ahead and just kind of spend maybe 60 seconds on this. Did everyone see what happened to Simon and his disc in the out of bounds situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any comments about that?
I don't. Okay, after further review, I do not know if it would have stayed in bounds.
Oh, you don't?
Okay.
The way, so Simon, in one of Simon's videos, he showed it in slow motion, and the spin on that disc looks like it would have continued to travel out of bounds anyway. I don't know if the rope would have actually
stopped it,
done anything. Yeah, like it's one of those. It's a bummer because we don't know the outcome if it didn't happen, and it clearly did happen. So, but I don't know
how much, like, if you're a spotter coming into 2025, being a volunteer, is that not you're like, bro, all the people that got clowned last year, let's just make sure that doesn't happen to me. And then first event of the year, it happens to you. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't.
But the thing is, he was trying to get out of the way. He just happened to trip on the rope.
I will say
that's
that
unfortunate.
That out of bounds was a real bad field bad. But I mean,
Simon had some bad shots later too that were really bad shots. First available hits that were there too, but it felt bad.
Hold on. The funniest part, I mean, I thought it was actually funny. The reason why I think it's funny is that the kid's reaction afterwards is like, what do I do?
What do I do in this?
Can I do something to fix this? It's like, no, brother, the deed is done. There's nothing you can do. So
he was a scorer, not a spotter. What the frick was he doing there? If he was a scorer. Okay.
He's trying to catch to see if people go in the fairway or not.
I guess. I guess that would track. But no, it was a funny situation. That kid's reaction was very funny. So
at least it wasn't someone on lead card and it was coming down the stretch. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my goodness, that would have been real.
Well, either way.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Could you imagine if it was AB after
Yeah,
all
if
of
it's
the
AB and he's
all that
like,
bad luck before?
he's 6. He's 6. Yeah. Oh gosh, that would be terrible.
We got to probably think about what are some of the greatest and or most notable like spotter slash fans involvement in a disc golf situation.
Dude.
Because the one I got to point out is from like when Ricky won, I think in 2022, I believe, at Green Mountain, where it hit the umbrella and it stayed in bounds.
Yeah.
And then he ended up winning and beating Chris Dickerson by like 1 or 2. That was a big notable one for me that went in a positive direction for Ricky.
The two that I know of off the top of my head is Garrett Gerthy's roller.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the best.
It just bounced up and hit the guy in the stomach.
That's pure
And then-
comedic humor.
And then the one that I thought was the funniest was the guy that's in the water that just like jumps up and grabs the disc, and he's like, "Oh, it was going out of bounds anyway."
Yeah.
But like the fact that he jumped up and grabbed it out of the water.
I would say those are two of the most notables, and those were just like last year.
Oh yeah,
that Garrett Gerthy one
camera
was
guy,
so fun.
and then
Chipmunk Gate. I don't remember that one.
I don't. Yeah, I have no idea what he's
I
talking
don't know
about.
what he's
Either,
talking about.
Taylor's aging himself.
Yeah, Taylor is aging himself here. But no, that Garrett Gerthy one was so funny, bro.
Yeah,
that is
cool.
Great timing there. But
all right, so let me give you. Let's
go
do
ahead,
this
Tyler.
as like a last bit of questions, so we can move on here. Give the weekend or the tournament a grade on A to F.
I'm gonna say B.
Okay.
Just because some of the course is personally. See, I've never played it. If I played it, I'd probably be like, this course is amazing. Watching it, it's a little boring. I feel like there's a lot of fairways that look identical because of the types of trees and plants. So it's kind of just tunnel shot where you can't really see where they're going because it's just like a late hyzer out and stuff like that. But it's still a good course. I say B.
Yeah.
Oh,
Guys,
AB throwing in from down at the bottom of that hill where he can't see anything. That was insane.
Yeah.
Can I ask this question? Is this just new London with more hills?
I don't know. I have to go to see it. I feel like the camera doesn't do this course justice. Honestly, the course looks like it would be so much fun to play.
For sure.
And it's very like you got to throw this specific shot in an area so you can throw the next shot, which I kind of like these pros having to do, which is something that I've been saying for a long time, is that we need a course where there's a placement shot to where you have to throw a certain, have a certain angle, depending on how you throw the first shot, with that angle will give you a good angle or a bad angle for the next shot. I like how this course has that, but it is hard to track on the camera. I will say that much.
I'm going to say it's called Tobog London.
Yeah,
it kind of is.
I'm going to give it a solid B for me too.
Yeah, so, I'll continue the B. I'll continue the B.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I even would have gone with B minus. That would have been fine. I don't know about B plus. So B minus, that would have been my score. So
I legitimately forgot that there was like a plus or a minus to grading.
Yeah. You could have
I was just going like
plus
A,
or
B,
minus.
C, D. Like that's it.
No, we're good. So, Matt, why don't you talk us through our weekly challenge recap, and anyone else wants to talk about their round, they totally can too, in their experience.
Cool. So last week we did the Uno challenge, or last 2 weeks we did the Uno challenge. 1 overstable disc, 1 neutral disc, 1 understable disc, and a putting putter, and you went out and played with them. And I think everyone who's currently in tags did submit theirs. If you're not in tags yet, join our Discord. It's the best way to do it. We have a whole section for it. But I think everyone in tags submitted theirs. So I'll ask 2 questions here. I've got 2 quick ones. Who had the best C1X putting? Who do we think?
Me or
I'm gonna
Mac?
guess-
It's
I'm
got to
gonna
be
guess-
me.
Taylor.
It's Tyler. It's Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler popped 90% C1X.
I was hot.
Pretty dang good scores as far as that goes. So pretty sick.
And I think the 1 or 2 that I missed was like from 30 feet. Like it was just inside the circle.
We'll add this to it. Who had the best C2 putting?
I'll go Mac.
Mike.
All right, it was in fact Mac. Mac had 50% C2. So pretty
Dang.
good. Actually, very good putting stats collectively.
I don't remember him making any of those, so maybe
Maybe he lost.
Get
No,
him.
I did his score, so hopefully.
to be honest, pretty much everyone had pretty good putting stats for this week.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
pretty nice there.
How do we feel about the challenge? Real quick.
That's a great question. I was about to ask.
Challenging,
Fun.
fun, hard, boring.
I like that it was you can pick whatever slot you wanted. You just
Mhm.
needed to have one of each. Coincidentally, I'm pretty sure everyone did like understable driver, neutral, like mid-ish, and then and then overstable like approach or something. Except for I think Tyler had a Raptor.
So I chose the Raptor because I knew it was gonna be windy, but also I like doing overstable fairway because I can always use that as an approach disc as well for like a forehand or shot or something like that.
Yeah.
So and then I went with like an inner core as my thrower straight disc because I wanted something a little bit more like easeable that I could throw like an up shot if I needed to or whatever the case would be. I thought it was a lot of fun, except I wasn't able to utilize all the discs because it was so freaking windy. So I'm going to have to circle the wagon back on this challenge and do it. But I think this is a really fun challenge to just do it with a couple buddies on like a Friday afternoon. Be like, hey, listen, we're going to choose 3 discs. This one's got to be, the Uno. And then you go out and play. I think it's totally manageable and it's fun to see creativity with just what can you do with a couple discs. And
The
I think
fact that we figured out it was Uno.
Yeah.
That makes it even better.
Yeah, this is great. Like this is super marketable too. Like to people, be like, hey, you do the Uno challenge or whatever the case may be. But I think this is what I was gonna say. Coincidentally, Corey just made a video about, hey, throw every disc you have on one hole so you can see what they all do. This is a perfect challenge to do something like that, where you can just take a disc and then you're gonna have to learn how to manipulate the disc on every hole, depending on what you want to do. So I like this challenge. Not that I came up with it or anything, but it was fun.
Yeah,
So.
I agree.
Matt, you have tag updates or no?
We do have tag updates. Yep.
Let's hear it.
So weekly challenges double as tags for the year. That's how we're running them. In first place, definitely a switch up from last week. Mike took down first place with his raw score was beaten by 2 people, but with our handicap there, he popped a 226 UDisc score. Or no, I lied, a 231 UDisc score.
Wow.
Taylor, with his also handicapped UDisc rating, also popped a 231. However, Mike came in with a higher place tag, he came in with the higher place tag, so he took the W there. Tyler popped the 3rd place here. Mac popped a 4th. Corey popped a 5th, and I popped
Dang
a
it,
6th.
Corey, you messed up.
I know.
Dang
I'm
it.
just beginning to realize that Corey and I, neither of us have played a good round since we started these weekly challenges. I just, now I will say, literally, it's just been wind for like the majority of us.
Dude,
Everyone
yeah.
says that. The second it calms down, this challenge is going to become a lot more fun. These challenges.
I think it's definitely the weather.
Yeah, weather sucks. So
we decided to start this challenge at the worst time.
At the worst time.
Yeah.
At the worst time.
Yeah.
So to add to that, our weekly challenge for the upcoming week is a little complex, but I think it's pretty fun. What you're going to do is we'll make a new weekly challenge thread. You pop your entire bag minus your putting putters on there. And then every other person in the challenge bans a disc from your bag. Okay?
Yep.
So in the end, Corey should have a disc or have a bag with 5 less discs in it. I should have a bag with 5 less discs in it. Tyler should as well. And you just got to play with normal bag minus whatever those discs are we ban out. We can ban whatever, with the exception of putting putters.
Yep.
This hopefully means that you should be able to do some stuff, even if it's windy, but a little more complex challenge that should be pretty fun. Once again, that's full UDisc stats, 18 holes. Join our Discord, go in the weekly challenge. And I will pop a thread in there for us to do that in. So I think that'll be fun.
And also, we do need to mention, if you have more than one of the same disc, you're only writing said disc. So if you have multiple destroyers, you're just writing out destroyer, and someone can ban destroyer as a mold, not like an individual disc.
Good call.
So we're banning molds in your bag.
Yeah.
Not a disc, but molds.
Guys, I want Tyler to have no four-handable discs in this challenge, please. I want his Firebirds gone. I want his overstable approach discs gone. I want his destroyers gone. But post your full bag in that new weekly challenge thread that I'll make right after this podcast. And,
remember a couple months ago when Tyler was making a new in the bag every like 5 minutes?
Literally so frequently.
Well, I thought I was going to be like sticking with something for a while, and then it was like,
And then
what am I
never
doing
stuck
here?
with
What am
anything.
Well, I
doing?
can see you putting a bag in this challenge that has like at least 10 four-handable discs, so that if 5 of them go, you're like, oh no, I'm still.
Yeah,
good."
I can
I'll
make
make
it
it realistic. I'll make it
Yeah.
realistic. But I am
Um,
changing my bag like, a complete 180 just because like, I did that Discraft because Ezra signed with Discraft or whatever, or Ricky did. Signed with, well, so did Ezra, but Ricky signed with Discraft, so I made like that old Discraft bag, and then I went out and played with it and beat my buddy or whatever the case would be. A lot of those discs, I was like, yo, Discraft, like they're flying nice, and I was throwing them really, really well. So now I'm really debating on what I should bag. So the problem is it makes so much plastic and disc golf, man. So
Yeah.
and it
And
makes it so affordable. That's the problem.
the new cap wraps that are out, they're looking pretty sweet too. So,
I have not seen a single
Have
one.
you guys noticed that? Oh, you haven't seen any?
Oh,
Mm-mm.
they're
So,
all
do you
the Z
remember-
Swirl.
Do you remember the 2020 tour series
Mhm.
where it's like that super nice Z swirl? A lot of the Lunas like went
Yes.
off the shelf.
Yes.
They're doing that again for the entire tour series.
So Venoms, Raptors,
Exact same plastic.
Nuke.
So Z Swirl.
It's
Yep.
Z swirl again. It's a
Hmm.
different stamp. It doesn't look identical.
Right.
But so I've noticed that every year that they release the cap wrap, because that comes out before the tour series, whatever plastic that's in ends up being the tour series.
Right.
And so they announced a couple weeks ago that it was that Z swirl for the cap wrap. And then I was talking to some buddies, and we were thinking maybe they would switch it up, and the tour series was going to be that crystal confetti, because that's really cool too.
Dude, it is a cool looking plastic. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they're going to probably do that next year, but I know a lot of the pros were asking for this Z swirl because it is a little more stable than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then AB accidentally jumped the gun and put out that was the tour series. So that's funny.
He didn't care one bit. He was like, "Let me
Yeah.
spill these beans."
Yeah, but
So
they
I was
released
curious-
merch.com, so that's cool.
I was curious who was getting what disc, because the tour series team is a lot different than last year. Looks like Ricky's on the Force, and it looks so good. I might be throwing the Force again.
Oh my god.
And apparently, what Matt was saying is that he was throwing the Hurricane on the second 9.
He was. Yeah.
What was he throwing it on, forehand or backhand?
I think it was a backhand.
I have to go back and watch. I missed it.
Yeah. It was just
I
one little
see-
sneak, slipped over to his card to show a shot on Jomez, and he was throwing a Hurricane. So
I always
cool.
wondered if Paul Macbeth. I mean, I know Corey kind of said this about a year ago, but about how Paul puts the Zeus stamp on a Force, or whatever the case may be. But I wonder if he's ever done that with a Hurricane. I wonder if he's put a Zeus stamp on a Hurricane, because the Hurricanes are just better Zeuses in my opinion. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird that DGA has such a good mold for the driver slot, and Discraft kind of went around it, but in like a weird way. Like the Force is really good, but it's also not the same disc.
Mm-mm.
And then the Zeus, not that many people like the Zeus.
Zeus is like honestly a very good amateur 12-speed disc. But
Yeah.
the problem with the Zeus is the first time you nick it and you start throwing a lot more, like it will not come back. Like its fade ability is honestly, the fade is wrong on it. The fade is like a 2, honestly, on it. But I think I find it very fascinating because Paul takes the hurricane and turns it into a Zeus. Paul takes the pipeline and turns it into Athena. I mean, there's, just take DGA, man. What are we doing here? Anyways, all right. Game time. Here we go. I got a game. So, Matt, before we get into officially the game, can you throw up my graphic?
Yeah, you have to give me 1 second here
Yeah.
because
By the
I
way,
don't know if it's
guys,
submitted the right way.
I'm going to just let everyone know while Matt's pulling this up. Taylor is usually our guy who is on our production and does a phenomenal job. And pretty much this is Taylor's podcast, not my podcast, as he likes to joke about, because Taylor does such a good job. But Matt is running everything tonight, obviously, and he's doing a phenomenal job. So anyways, here we go.
We're good so far. We'll see.
I'm not going to get into the whole name thing that much, but this season, if you were here with us last year, you know that I stated that if you DNF'd just because you quit out of no reason, you were dead to me, and I put you on the dead to me list, right? And there's quite a few people that we put on that list last year that was really sad. Including who was it, Matt? Who was my guy that I was sad about? Colbert Allen. We had to put him on the list. But it's a new year, so the slate has been wiped clean. And so now we'll be keeping track of all the DNFers this year that DNF'd not because of an injury. So as far as I'm concerned, this is the only name. This is from FPO. Courtney Lambert, dead to me. No idea who that is. But Matt said, Matt's words were, you're really going to have an 830 player dead to you on your list. Well,
see, I thought this was just a rant. I did not realize that this is a list you're really wanting to keep track of this year. I thought this was just a random list.
No, this will be a list that we're keeping track of all season long. So this is
fingers crossed this list does not get big.
Yeah, let's hope so.
We'll see. We'll see. So anyways, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, Matt, thanks for the graphic. You can take it down and you can, I'm going to put my screen up and then you can go full screen with it. I will not be able to see you guys from this point on.
Let me know when your screen's up and I'll swap screens.
All right. Window. Okay, how does that look?
The GT40 was still on your screen.
That actually works. That works. So,
can you see everything here?
A little bit. Let's zoom. You can zoom in Excel.
Okay.
Oh, you went there we go. Hard on this.
Is this better?
Yes, sir. It is. That's perfect.
All right, so here's the game for tonight. All right, this is the DNF game, which means these are career DNFs, right? All this number right here. So there's 12, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And these are players that are going to fit one of these one of the slots here. And so you, Matt and Corey, have to come up and try to see and fit who goes where. And you'll have 3 attempts. We've done similar games like this with Taylor, but I figured since it was my game and we're starting to keep track of the DNFers, I was wondering who in fact has DNF'd the most out of their career.
This is gonna be tough.
Which is tough. Which is what I found fascinating is this number right here, the 12 number.
12.
And then it drops to 6, which is crazy that someone's DNF 12 times and then the next closest drop off is 6. So Matt and Corey, good luck. See if you can.
Who do we think has? I care less about this game, and now that number's up, I care more about who DNF'd 12 times. That is the real question.
That is the real question.
Who do we think it is? And why is it an older person who's been on the tour a while?
This is career all time, by the way.
Yeah.
So is this any reason for a DNF?
Yeah, it's just DNF in the book.
Because I'm thinking, okay, Eagle McMahon has gotten injured. So does that count as like...
If you DNF'd, it goes on the career list.
I know. I'm just thinking like, was he signed up for something and had to back out because of the injury? Because those can just like...
Usually it doesn't count as a DNF.
Unless
if you tell them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Am I crazy to think that Greg Barsby has DNF'd? Greg or Dave Felberg?
Yeah.
I think either
mean-
of them are our 12 timers.
Yeah. It just
Boy.
looks funny next to Drew Gibbison.
I knew that was.
Dude, I don't know
coming.
who that guy is, but Drew
Gibson.
Drew Gribson. I don't know who he is, but he sounds interesting. Who do you want to put on the top of this list, Corey? I would argue that I think Greg could be up there. He's been playing events forever. I think Dave could definitely be up there.
Let's go Greg. Let's go
You're gonna go
Greg
Greg?
with 12.
Okay, I rock with that. All right, interesting
Oh
way of
wait,
doing
what are
that.
we doing?
He did it in an interesting way, but it'll
Are you
work.
doing names?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah,
I guess,
either way,
Okay.
it'll accomplish the same thing. It's just weird.
So this will stay the same, and I'm
Okay.
just gonna
Okay.
put the names down.
Okay.
Who do we think DNF 6 times then? I still think an older folk.
Let's go, Dave.
Let's go, Dave.
think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dave, 6 DNFs for his career. Do we go Seppo 5 times, maybe?
Sure. Honestly, this one's just a feel for.
Yeah, I
Like-
agree with you.
Yeah, so we'll go Seppo 5.
And then, honestly, I
want to say
Go ahead.
I want to say Kyle is either 3 or 2.
I would agree with that. I don't think he's DNF'd a lot. Yeah. Who's
No.
1 is my real question at this point. Is 1... I think 1 is either Kyle Klein or Eagle McMahon.
Yeah. I'm thinking Eagle.
You think Eagle is 1? Okay, we'll go with that. Eagle
Yeah.
had 1 DNF. That puts Kyle Klein at either 2 or 3. And then we have Drew Gibson and Matt Bell. So who do you think?
Let's go Drew at 4. Because
Okay.
I think he has had a few. I
Yeah.
feel like Tyler
Anyone-
has brought his name up.
Yeah, and anyone who's been playing as long as he has to like just things
Yeah.
happen.
Let's go Kyle at. Let's go Kyle 2 and Matt 3.
I'm fine with that.
Just because a lot of these numbers are so close to each other that
Yeah. You got a good
Okay.
cascading number. All right.
So here's what I'm
we're
gonna do.
right.
Green is you got it right. Yellow means you're within 2 of the spots.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I like this.
All
so
right.
you
Need the help,
basically took Taylor and made it better.
You took Taylor and said, "How can this be Wordle?"
I've been paying attention.
I see what you did there. You raised him up so you can throw him
Take
off
a
the
little
cliff.
clout.
Yeah.
Okay. Greg,
Wait, how is Greg within 2?
he either has to be 6 or 5.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant number. Like,
No.
He's at
Within
a 10?
two spots.
All of a
Okay.
sudden, how you put names in the first attempt instead of numbers, I realize is so much more helpful.
Yeah.
We'll take that. Okay.
We got 0, right?
Yes, that is correct. 0 right.
Okay.
And there you go.
Okay. Just to confirm, within 2, it could go 2 up or 2 down, right?
Correct. So Eagle could go up to 3, and Drew can go down to 2, or Drew could go up to 6.
Here's okay.
Barsby can go all the way down to 5.
Corey, there's a way that we can game this system here. And that's that we can put Eagle at 3. Okay?
Or 2.
Or 2.
Well,
But if we put him at 3,
and it's wrong, then it's
then
gotta
we
be-
just know it's 2 versus vice whatever. So we could put Eagle at 3 and we could put Greg Barsby at 5. And we just game the system on both sides here. We're like maxing out the ranges. You know?
Let's do that. So Greg
right.
Barsby at 5.
So Greg's going to 5.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Eagles at 3. Okay. Mac just joined and says, I don't even know what's happening. We're
Which
cooking,
means
Mac.
Drew. I think Drew, we're gonna go up.
I would agree with that, actually.
Put him at 6.
Yeah, he's got to be within 2, so 6 would track for me. Does that make Oh, it just makes either Seppo's not 12. We know that,
Yeah.
right? Because he can't go 2 up. That would put him in green.
No,
Or put him in
No,
yellow.
so you could go. Seppo can go to 12.
Yeah, but within 2, he should have been yellow.
Correct.
So Matt Bell is 12.
No, I'm saying you could have went to 12, but I'm not saying it's correct. It may not be correct.
Okay.
We're not talking to you.
Yeah, bro. I agree with that. Let's put
Matt Bell at 12.
Matt Bell at 12. Yep.
Okay.
See, the thing is, I still feel like Seppo has to be high on the list, but apparently not. Bro just thugs it out even when he's fighting for his life.
I mean, he's European. That might be just like.
And Seppo has to be 1, right?
No, he could
be 2 or 1.
2. He could be 2 or 1.
What do we think?
I say put him at 1.
Let's put him all the way at 1.
I think it's the European in him. That's just
could honestly. That is good logic.
You know what I mean? Like I need to finish this no matter what.
That's terrible logic, but it's perfect. It makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? So I qualified as good.
So Kyle has to go to 4.
Yep.
Oh wait. No, put Kyle at 1.
And Seppo
at 2. And Dave, because that would jump Dave way too far.
I'll let you. Let me know when you want to lock in.
Let's lock it.
I'm
Let's see
locked
what
in.
we got here.
Yeah,
Okay.
locked in.
I
low.
like this.
All of them
iteration.
are green.
Light them up, Ka.
All of them are green.
Dang. Matt Bell. I don't know why. I kind of thought I had this idea that Matt Bell was a trooper and just wasn't gonna DNF. Apparently, I was just wrong.
Okay, so we know where those 2 are. Come on, baby.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, good night. Okay. There's some logic to be had here.
So, hold on. Hear me out.
Final try.
All right.
Hear me
tell
out. Greg is 6. Dave is 5.
Hold on. Let me try to keep up with you. So Greg is 6.
Greg is 6.
Yeah, Greg has to be 6.
Okay.
Dave
Who's
is
5?
5. Dave.
Okay.
Kyle
Has to be 4.
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were just going down the list with me. Kyle. And then we've got Seppo is 1 and Drew is 2. And those are all green.
If that's correct, it's surprising based on time in the game. But
It's correct.
let's see if that's true.
It's correct.
Tell me. Give me the green.
It's correct. I play Sudoku. It's correct.
Yes, you guys got this all correct.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say, right, is I knew this challenge would be hard, but I knew with the whole yellow is within 2 places that you guys should get this at the very end. And you guys did, which I'm really proud of you. I thought this list. So here's the thing. I came up with a couple different things, and then I was like, oh, let me look at some DNFs. And I looked at some DNFs of tournaments and championships, and then I saw this list, and I was like, I'm going to look at this list, and I want to choose one that's 12, or I'm going to choose 12 because that's the top of the list. And then it went 6, and then a bunch of 6s and a bunch of 5s, a bunch of 4s. And so I was like, all right, what players would seemingly be odd at this many DNFs? So the most surprising to me was Seppo Payu with only 1. So that's why I knew I had to choose him with 1, because there's a ton of people with 1.
It would be really funny if you had like multiple 6s and we just put it in the wrong slot.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, oh, that's you're wrong. Got to retry.
yeah.
Yeah, that would have been pretty awful. Greg's Barsby was 6. Interesting. And then Kyle Klein with 4 was another one. It was Kyle Klein's got quite a bit. So
Yeah, bro, DNFs quite a bit.
So you guys did really good. I'm really proud of you guys.
Hey, thanks.
What's
Dad.
going on with Matt Bell, bro? Bro's
What do you mean?
DNF 12 times.
Yeah, Matt Bell is a scumbag. I'm just gonna say it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was a good game. That game where you have a ton of layers, and stuff gets within a couple, those limits really helped us out on the top and bottom. But That was sick.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Any lasting comments about the weekend or anything in disc golf that wants to be brought up that you want to talk about?
What is the next tournament?
The next tournament is Waco in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
So
okay.
next week
You
we'll
know
make
what
our
threw
picks.
me off?
What?
They just posted on, I think, Gatekeeper, Waco from last year. So I thought it already happened.
Oh heavens!
Like I thought the tournament happened like now, and I'm like, what?
Oh.
And then it ended up being last year's that they posted.
Yeah, I
Scott
forgot.
says there's a go-through tournament this weekend.
Oh, I'm
That-
curious about that.
I am very curious about that.
City of Mobile Championships this weekend. Is that a go-through event or is that just max event?
I think it's
that's
max
just an
event.
8th tier.
Yeah, I think that's just an 8 tier.
So what's the go-through event? Does anybody know? Help us out in the chat, guys.
I'm curious about these go throws.
Yeah,
If
I
they're
want to
just
watch
gonna
if
be-
they've got coverage.
If they're just going to be another of the same, or if
Right.
they're going to change things up.
So this is an invitational event that is. Oh wait, no, that's skins. Hold on. No, I don't know. No, there's just a skins thing that's this Friday, but I don't think it's a go throw event. Unless this is it
Okay.
right here, the Cancer Playbook Invitational. Is that it?
That might. I think that's it. That's.
I
what
feel like the
think.
wording on that is
That's pretty
Wrong.
bad.
Yeah.
like
Hey guys, it's their first real event. Got to give them some slack.
no. I'm saying like, is it the playbook to have cancer
That's what I'm saying. They kind of did. a
or
bad,
to beat cancer? Like it should be cancer fighting playbook or something. I don't know. That's so weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really hoping that they what I'm expecting is that they do a lot of experimental stuff and like maybe they are actually in cahoots with the PDGA to
Yeah.
be like, hey, people really liked that you could do this to the green or something,
right.
and then the PDGA goes, okay, cool, we're gonna change the rule for next year.
I see it here. It's called the Hideaway DGR in Terrell, Texas. It's going on this weekend, but the event is called the Cancer Playbook Invitational. Very interesting
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a skins match and beat the pros on Friday, and then the event Saturday is Sunday.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess OTB or Go Throw would be doing post production on it. I wonder who signed up for it, guys.
It
Why
seems like
don't-
half of the tour is going to that A tier and mobile. I'm not saying mobile. And
Cancer Playbook.
the other half might be going to this.
So it's going to
Go
be a
Throw.
sanctioned event.
I thought they weren't sanctioned. I thought that was the whole thing.
Oh wait, maybe. Oh, this is last year's event, so maybe you're right. Maybe it's not sanctioned.
I think that's the whole like spiel
Yeah.
about this tournament.
That's true. Okay, so Cancer Playbook is an old name that they've had, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Can't find anything on PD.
Taylor says they did end up
PGPT.
sanctioning them, so I guess
Oh,
they're
really?
sanctioned.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm
that's
trying.
lame. Now they can't do anything crazy.
Unless
I'm
someone told
trying-
me you were sanctioned.
I'm trying to
Those
look for
laws are kind of
2025 disc golf scene. I don't know. I'm trying to pull it up right now. Disc golf scene. This is crazy. Hold on, players. Wait, we might get something here. Nope. No, I don't know. Some pros that are going to be playing. I don't know. Trying to tell you the Connor Rock's going to be there. Get excited.
Oh my goodness.
Gavin Babcock's going to be there. Evan Scott's going to be there. Matt Bell's going to be there. Get excited for Matt Bell, guys. He might DNF. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I see.
Taylor said, rule 1 of running a disc golf event is making it genuinely impossible to find any info online.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, I don't know if it's sanctioned. It didn't take me right to the PDGA website. I don't know. Anyways, we'll figure this out later. So,
Yeah.
anyways, we got some disc golf this weekend, but it has nothing to do with the Pro Tour. So maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't. I don't really know. But anyways, listen, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Shout out to Foundation Disc Golf, where you can go get all your disc golf needs and wants at foundationdisc.com. Yeah, Matt, close us out.
Bye, guys.
Riveting. See ya. Peace.
I didn't know you wanted more than that.